Hey everybody, this is Big Temp with the Cavecast. Thanks for coming and watching our content today. We hope you enjoy it. If you do, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that sub button. Again, thank you for tuning in, and this is the Cave. Well. What's happening, everybody? This is the Cavecast. I'm Big Temp. We have video of Big Mike. He is live, people. Can y'all? It's been a couple of times. We've been on here. Mike ain't been available, but here he is in all his splendor today. Here
Man,
he is.
y'all be alright. All y'all need to do is hear this game I'm spitting. Saying y'all get to see me today.
So we this is a really special episode for us. Okay, number one, it's Super Bowl week. This is our last episode before the Super Bowl, and it's also the anniversary of us putting out our very first pieces of content on YouTube. 1 year. It has officially been 1 year by the time everybody sees this that it has been for us being on YouTube. So we want to say thank you to everybody. Over 1,300 subscribers now. I truly appreciate it. I know Mike truly appreciates it. And today, it's going to be a little bit of a, how should I say, we're gonna get into basically some things about who we think are X factors or impact players in this Super Bowl, and we also want to talk about some of the things that have been said on Radio Row during this week of the players finally being down in New Orleans for the Super Bowl and getting ready. They do all this, you know, this kind of a pageantry kind of thing. So, but it's been fun. It's been fun watching the Chiefs be out there. It was fun the first day when they had a couple of players from Philly and some of the players from the Chiefs, and they were asking questions, things to that nature. I've actually enjoyed listening to Travis Kelsey and listening to Patrick Mahomes give their comments and their answers to some of the things. But I think the person I've enjoyed the most is Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston has been absolutely just hilarious being the guy there asking these players these questions. He's been good. I don't know what any. I think Jameis Winston actually has a star rising in the media aspect, right? I think he might be that kind of a guy that you can actually give him a show and he would perform very well. I
Yeah, I
don't
can
know.
see it.
I can see it. He's got the personality for it. So, uh, shout out to Jameis Winston. I never thought I would even say that, but shout out to Jameis Winston. Did a great job. Great job. So, Mike, how you been?
Been alright, man.
You
Just
eager?
been on the
You
football and stuff, man.
you you, you eager? You
I'm
eager for this Sunday?
yeah, man. I'm tired of Eagles fans, bro. Them dudes.
Listen,
Bro, I literally just listened to a dude that said Jalen Hurts is on par with Patrick Mahomes in their first 5 years.
that's a little far fetched. I won't say that. I will say he is a winner. I can't knock that. He is a winner. He hasn't won the big game as of yet.
But you know what
Hopefully he
they
does.
do?
Hopefully
But
he
you know what
doesn't
they
have it.
do though? They say the first 5 years and then count the year where Mahomes played one game.
Yeah,
And then
I
be like,
know.
look at this and then be like, look at the stats. But I'm like, you do realize that like that says more about Mahomes than you know what? No,
It
I'm
you
not even
know here's the deal. It's very disingenuous, and here's the thing about fans, right? And don't get it twisted. We are fans, right? We are fans. But the thing about being a fan and loving the game, you have to be honest at some point, right? So I don't know if a lot of fans really get that. And I'm gonna be honest with you when it comes to Philly fans, I have not heard the greatest compliments about Philly fans when it
Oh, they
comes
are
to.
terrible.
I have not. So I'm not going to go into it too much. What we want to do is we want to talk about what everybody, if you stopped on the thumbnail and you clicked this video is very special to us because, especially to me, because I am a Kareem Hunt guy. And as we all know, Kareem Hunt got drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. When he got drafted, I was very, 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 very happy, right? So the thing about being a Chief fan is when you find a player that you really like, you tend to latch on to that player, right? And you want him to do well and you follow everything about him. Mike had his guy with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He really liked Clyde, right? And my guy was Kareem Hunt. He was the
Oh,
guy.
I love Kareem though.
I know
Hey,
you
after
do.
that first preseason game, I was like, "Yep, there he is.
Yeah.
That's the
And
one."
I know you do. And that's why I'm saying I know that that's a thing for you. Like,
The running back position in general is like
yeah,
that's my
it's
favorite position. So
yeah.
like, I kind of gear towards that one for sure.
So here's the deal. Like when Kareem got drafted, I knew when he was in Toledo. I remember watching a couple of games because they didn't play a lot of those games, but I remember watching him, and I remember hearing a stat that was crazy when he was in college, and I couldn't believe it. This guy had never fumbled
Oh,
a ball the whole entire time he was at Toledo, right? Leading rusher, gets drafted by the Chiefs, and that first season, he doesn't get to play with Patrick because they actually got drafted in the same year. And the funny thing about that is that he has Alex Smith there. And Alex Smith, that last year that he was there, had a hell of a season. A hell of a season. And part of the reason I think that they had a hell of a season, number one, was because I think Alex Smith was playing to show that, he pretty much knew he was going to be leaving Kansas City. But another part of that was because they had this new dynamic running back that was able to, you know, keep defenses honest. Uh, I want to say that Kareem had over 1,300 yards that rookie season.
yeah, he led the league in rushing that year.
Yeah, led the league in rushing, and he was the first time that a non first round running back as a rookie had ever led the league in rushing yards by the end of the season, right?
Yeah,
So
like yeah,
it was great to see. I loved it. I loved Kareem. I got his jersey. I'd never let it go, even when we had the ordeal the following season, and Patrick finally got his chance to start, and they were off to this hot ass start, right? They were. I mean, Mahomes
yeah,
was
because
killing it. It was
this
crazy.
is literally why I always stress the fact that the Chiefs should try to get a running back this year,
Yeah,
a really a top notch running back. One of the reasons why is because people don't realize this, but Mahomes had arguably his best year when Kareem was there. Also,
his second year in the
before
league.
Kareem,
Yeah,
yeah, when,
it was
when
his second
Kareem
year in
when
the league.
Kareem, yeah, that's when the year he started. So that's the year he won MVP.
Yeah,
Kareem was there for the first what I want to say 9 weeks,
9 games.
something like that. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
something like that.
and
So
then
yeah,
we had
like
we had the ordeal that happened where
yeah,
it was some kind of an altercation or skirmish or something like that happened between him and a young woman who was outside of his hotel or his apartment complex. And
yeah, something.
we don't want to go into the details about that because that's not my main concern. I'm never going to bring this man down because he got punished enough. Kareem wound up losing his spot with the Kansas City Chiefs. They actually uh, released him. Now, he went through some turmoil that year. The Chiefs wind up playing an AFC Championship game. They didn't eventually. They did eventually lose to Tom Brady and the Patriots. And I always thought to myself how different that game would have been if Kareem had been there. I really do. I always say
Should have
that to
won
myself.
anyway.
I get it. But I always thought to myself, and as time went on, yeah, Mahomes won another Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl anyway, his first one, and Kareem had already been moved on, and and found a home with the Cleveland Browns eventually. And
Yeah, he
he
went
was,
back with Dorsey. That's what he did. He
yeah,
was like, "Oh,
Dorsey, John,
Dorsey went over there. Oh, I'm
yeah,
going over there too."
John Dorsey had picked him up while he was in Cleveland. And the thing about it is he made a name for himself over there, but he was always running behind uh,
Chubb.
Chubb. So, and Nick Chubb was their, their best running back. That that's the guy that they put, big time resources
Yeah,
into.
I
So,
mean, Chubb arguably was the best running back in the league during those times. So I
yeah.
mean,
So the thing that intrigued me more about this was as time it went on, Cleveland we had met Cleveland in the playoffs eventually, and Kareem was on that team, and Kareem played well in those games, and uh, we wound up eventually winning another two Super Bowls, and we had picked up Pacheco during that time. What's funny about that is that this season, in the midst of trying to three-peat, right? Pacheco gets hurt, and what's funny I found is that Kareem said his agent told him, he said maybe you should give them a call because Kareem was supposedly
yeah,
just sitting
he
at
hit.
home.
Yeah, because he hit Reed up first, actually.
Yeah, so he was sitting at home. He had gotten no calls, and he loves Kansas City. He's always had love, and he always felt like he messed up, and he wanted a chance to redeem himself. And so he makes a phone call and to Patrick and to Andy Reid, and they said they would get back in contact with him, and within an hour they are calling him up, and you have Kareem Hunt back in Kansas City, and it has been a hell of a ride for Kareem and the Kansas City Chiefs and the fans since he's been back. And I, for one, when it happened, Mike, I had the jersey on that day.
Hey, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all this too. I was the only one out of us two saying there was a possibility of Kareem coming
I
back
didn't
in the
never I
future.
never I never believed that they would actually do it, but I'd
I
hoped.
told
I
you.
had
I
hoped,
told
I
you.
had hoped, I had hoped. But I never
The
believed it
reason
would
why,
actually happen.
like, wasn't like weren't gonna kick him off the team. The only reason why he got kicked off the team was because he lied to Brett, or not Brett, but Hunt about what happened. It
Yeah,
wasn't because of the incident.
yeah,
It wasn't because of the incident that necessarily happened. He probably would have got suspended.
yeah, they wanted
They
him to
weren't
be
just
honest. Yeah,
yeah, because think about it. If they went through all that with Tyreek,
I get it.
and they
I
went through
get it.
all that with Tyreek, they didn't do that with Tyreek. Like,
No.
and that was, and now obviously Tyreek was innocent. Like, eventually, like he was found innocent of all that. But like that situation is way worse than what Kareem did.
Yeah, Kareem. Yeah, and that's why I said I really don't want to get into the mud about what
So
happened because I
just
think it
saying,
was, it was really kind of messed up. But at the same time, I think that he didn't really do a lot of, it didn't really apply to the situation. It was the fact that he lied about what had actually happened. Now, here's the deal. Kareem Hunt has a chance at redemption. He's come full circle. And the best part to me is this how appreciative he has been with this opportunity and how hard he has played and how he's put it all out on the field there. And the other thing that makes me think that he could be a big impact for this team in this game in particular is the fact that he feels like he owes it not only to himself, not only to the fans, but to the organization. And I think that's going to go a
Phones of the
long way.
Bobby face. It's like 17 people. That's Bobby B right
hold on.
What are you listening to, dude? But I think that's going to go a long way. Uh, one of the
No, it's
things,
YouTube. It played on my speaker. I don't know what's going on.
well, one of those things that when we look at this and we see Kareem available, everybody's always talking about for this matchup between the Eagles and the Chiefs. They're all talking about Saquon, and rightfully so. I'll give them that. He's been phenomenal this season. But it's always that guy that's flying underneath the radar that nobody really talks about. that winds up getting a chance to show out. Sort of like the time when Damian Williams came and showed out during that first Super Bowl that we had and we played the
Mm-hmm.
49ers. You know, he nobody talked about him. It was all about the Legion of Zoom, right? Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey. Here comes Damian Williams. But turn
Well,
I mean they didn't really.
well, no, that's not true because before the playoffs, we got him right before the playoffs.
Who,
Yep.
Damian?
Yes.
No.
Yes, yes. It was like right before. He only played like a few games
Well,
before the playoffs.
I
But
thought it
he
was
was
more
going off though.
I thought it was more like 4 or 5. I thought it was more like 4 or 5 during that season.
Matter of fact, I'm about to look.
It's because
He
they
was
had,
he was he was cooking though. I
yeah,
remember that because he did some stuff that was unexpected. I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay, hold on.
but nobody else was talking about him. Think about that. Nobody, the media wasn't talking about Damian Williams like that.
Well, no, they weren't treating him like he was like a big time back or nothing. But he was definitely cooking though.
And
Sure.
during the playoffs, he was actually killing it. He was
That's what I'm
having a
saying.
he,
He was playing good before that too though. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. He was
yeah.
playing real good.
But what I'm saying is
So
nobody was talking about him. He was flying under the radar. Nobody was talking about him really. They were more talking about Travis Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, the Legion of Zoom, and Patrick Mahomes. That's who everybody was concentrating on. Damian Williams had a fucking game. He had a game. Now, the reason I say that is to say this. I think that this is somewhat a little bit similar to what's happening right now, right? Because nobody is talking about Kareem in that light. They're saying it's a feel good story. You know, here's this redemption story that's available. You know, it's kind of flying under the radar. Everybody's talking about the defense of the Eagles. They're talking about Jalen Hurts. They're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, Taylor Swift. You know, I get it. But for me, as a Chief fan, I want to say I want to see Kareem get his day. I think he deserves it. I think he's earned it. And I think it would be one of the greatest football stories if this happens and they are able to win a Super Bowl, repeat, and they get to do it with one of the guys that was there who never got a chance because he was not there. He was gone. And what makes it more interesting is how the guys who are in that locker room, you can tell how much they love this dude. Travis Kelsey got choked up talking about Kareem Hunt. Did you see that?
I mean, yeah, they've known each other for. I mean, it's not surprising because, like you said, they came
No.
in with Mahomes.
Yeah.
They've known each other for a very long time. So,
Patrick
like, I
Mahomes,
mean, it's not surprising.
Patrick Mahomes and him they stayed constantly in contact even
And they
after
really, I think what the thing is with them is that like they really could have been a dynamic duo, like or trio, really, if you really
it
think
could have
about it.
been. It could have been
And like
him,
even with it, really could have been them four because then
yeah,
you really
Tyreek.
had you had Tyreek, you had Mahomes, you had Kelsey, you had Hunt. Those would have been your four core pillars on offense going forward. You
So
know, so
to me what I'm saying is there's 3 ways. And the number one way I'm looking at the way Kareem impacts this game is he's going to be that emotional catalyst on that team. There's a lot of guys that are going to be who have been in these Super Bowls. They have been there for a while. There's a lot of guys that are going to be playing for Kareem because they know the story, especially guys like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, and Chris Jones. Those guys want to get a ring bad, not only for themselves, but I think they also want to get one badly for Kareem and DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not going to say that's not what's happening, but I think it's, I think Kareem is the guy that they all, you know, they came in together, right? So I think he's the emotional catalyst on that team. That's number one. That's the number one impact I think it's going to be. Number two, they're going to have to run the ball. And Kareem can run the ball. And if
I
they
think
can,
I think him and Pacheco have to be good. I
they
think
have to
obviously
be.
Kareem. I think obviously Kareem is going to be. Well, you know what's weird? Because like Kareem has been getting the ball more, but like
Yeah,
Pacheco's still been starting.
he has. I think
Like
what
you know what
they're
I'm saying?
I think what they're trying
And
to
that's
do
fine.
is
I don't really have an issue with it. Yeah, I don't
they're
really have an
trying to
issue with it. But
I think they're trying to feel out Kareem or feel out Pacheco early in the game to see where he's at, right? You know, how's he looking? Because in the AFC Championship game, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but he was wearing a flap jacket because of the rib situation. And I think that's part of the
Mhm.
reason why Mahomes fumbled that ball is because it got caught on that flap jacket when he tried to pull it out. So, uh, but the number two impact reason I think is because, like I said, Kareem is going to have to be able to run the ball in this game. The Chiefs are going to have to keep the Eagles' defense honest. And I think you can do that with a steady dose of Kareem and Pacheco. More so Kareem, because I think Kareem is a better blocker, and I think he's a better guy being able to find open holes
Hey, I will say
and pick
this
up yardage.
because I don't think the Eagles' run defense is all that great, but
Some people
uh,
think they seem to think it
they're
is.
really not. But I will say I will not forget that Pacheco was cooking the Eagles in that Super Bowl game.
He was.
He
He
definitely
was.
was, and it's pretty much the defensive line is a little different. They got a few new pieces, but like
Yeah.
I said, their run defense ain't really all that great. But like, just saying, you know, I'd be on the
Yeah.
lookout for that because Kareem was cooking, and he had a few big
You mean
runs
Pacheco?
in
Pacheco.
that game. Or yeah, Pacheco, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But here's the thing though. I think that because we do have a guy like Kareem now you can actually keep Pacheco on the field for first and second down if you wanted to, if he's picking up yards. And you can actually bring in Kareem on those third downs and run that ball hard. You can actually get
or
those.
Kareem because Kareem been clutch, man.
Perrine, you know what?
Kareem
Perrine has been very
Kareem been
nice.
clutch.
Can't deny
Yeah,
it.
he been especially in the pass game. Like in
Pass
the
game for
pass game
sure.
on third downs, he
Yeah.
been he been getting it done, man. So shout out to
So,
Kareem, man.
uh, we keep calling Perrine. It's P. Ryan. Why we keep calling him
P
Perrine?
Ryan. Probably because it's easier to say.
Okay, so
P Ryan.
we
P Ryan,
we
y'all.
we know that they're going to have to run the ball. We know this, right? And the other way I think that Kareem impacts this game is that a lot of teams, by watching film, they're going to be looking for P. Ryan actually on third down, and they think it's going to be short yardage, right? They're going to be looking for P. Ryan as far as that goes for the pass game, right?
Yeah,
But
in the run game they use Kareem. Yeah.
yeah, in the run game, they use Kareem. But here's the deal with Kareem on the field, though, you can still throw to him. You can still throw to him. He's got good hands.
Yeah, you could
So,
really throw to all. You could really throw to all three of them. To be honest with you, I
yes.
just think they like play call wise, they got it set up to where they have like specific plays for all three of
Yeah.
them. So,
And I also
but yeah, you
think that
definitely could throw the ball to Kareem.
the Chiefs are not going to be playing into the hands of the Eagles as far as letting them see something that they've seen before and thinking that, okay, yeah, we know where the ball is going here, and Kareem just slips out. Here's a little 3-yard bubble screen to Kareem. Something we haven't seen all year, really. There's going to be things that are going to happen. They're going to try to shake it up. I think Kareem is going to have a big game, right? And the redemption story, I know I keep harping about this, but I do think it does matter because I think a guy who had everything taken away from him at one time, you know, he's looking at this in one way and one way only. I may not ever get a chance to come back here, and right now, I never thought I would ever be back with this team. I have to take advantage of this. I have to give everything I possibly can while I'm out here because I may not ever be back here. So I think that's going to actually play into it. Don't get me
Man, you
wrong.
know who else? Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just saying, don't get me wrong. I know the other team is going to have something to say about it. But I trust Andy Reid to scheme things in a way that Kareem can actually go out there and excel. And I think Andy Reid trusts Kareem a whole hell of a lot. And he understands that in the run game, Kareem is going to get those extra yards that he needs. And I think it's going to come down to that, something similar to that, where it's, hey, we got to pick up a first down. It's 4th and 1, right? I think it's going to come down to something like that, where they got to pick up a first down. I don't see this game being a blowout. I don't. But I also think that the Chiefs are going to have to play very good football without any kind of mistakes against this team. This is arguably the best defense that they'll see that they've seen all season. Arguably, I won't say they're the best. I'm just saying arguably.
Yeah.
No, I know.
They got some. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Travis Kelsey is about to cook.
If they
They
go
do
zone,
anything, if
if
they
they
do
go,
anything like they did with Zach Ertz against what he did the last game,
yeah,
he had 11 catches for 104 yards.
yeah,
If you let Kelsey do that, dog, I'll tell y'all this right now. Zach Ertz was eating them boys alive, and they couldn't do nothing about it.
yeah.
Literally.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. I don't. I've heard
Great
all
team.
kinds of shit. I've heard all kinds of shit from fans of across, from everywhere. I've gotten memes sent to me, photos, I mean, I've had shots taken at me all week by Eagle fans, right? So here's my thing. I have never, and I mean never, thought to myself that at the Chiefs are unbeatable because I know that's a lie. But I will say this: if all my chips are in and it came down to what I had to say for a team, and I thought to myself, I I got two choices. What are my choices going to be? What's going to make me a winner out of this situation? I'm looking at Kansas City because of 1-5 and Andy Reid. I trust them. I've seen them in these situations before. So I trust them. I trust them to make the correct calls. I trust them,
I
to do the
think
right
I
thing.
think I think Hop is gonna have some big catches in this game too.
I got a funny feeling that Hopkins is actually going to have a really good game.
I think he's gonna have
I
a touchdown. I think he's
Yeah,
gonna have one touchdown. I
something
don't. He might not
something.
have a lot of yards or nothing like that, but
Yeah,
he's gonna have a touchdown like a red zone.
I don't know if it'll be a lot of yards, but I think he's going to be key to the passing game because he's going to draw attention, right? And look, if the Eagles go to a zone and they play zone, right? You're asking for Kelsey to eat. You're asking for Kelsey to eat.
But dad, but not even. But listen, just real quick, not even that. So I was watch. I rewatched that Washington game,
Yeah.
bro. Jaden Daniels was having plenty of time in that pocket. Like there was times he was standing in that pocket for like a cool 3 4 seconds with time to
Yeah.
pass the ball. You do that with Mahomes, they're not winning this game, bro.
Well, the pundits seem to think that the Eagles' offensive line or defensive line is so much more better
They're not.
than the Chiefs'
In terms of rushing the
offensive line.
quarterback,
Yeah.
compared to 22, it's not even close.
Yeah, that team was third
Even
in
close.
history. They
Now
what they
their DB situation is better, I believe,
oh yeah,
compared to 22. I do
yeah.
think it's better, definitely better than 22. But their pass rush compared to what 22 was, yeah, not even hell no.
Well,
'Cause
the
I think
way
the Texans got a better pass rush than they do right now.
the
So
way I'm looking at this right now is the Chiefs have an opportunity because we know they can play any way you want to play. We've watched them win games any way you want to play, right? Excuse me. If you want to take the run game away from the Chiefs, they're okay with that. They'll go to the short yards, the quick outs, the bubble screens and shit like that. If you want to take that away from them, they'll run the ball. We watched Kareem have plenty of games this season where he was running the ball effectively. If you want to take the wide receivers away from them, then they'll go to Travis Kelce. And if they have to grind it out and it's going to be a defensive battle, I trust that defense. And if they can't win it from just defense and offense alone, special teams has been showing up all season.
Hey,
All
we need a
fucking season.
Remigio. We need another return. It ain't even got to be a touchdown. If you can get us in short fieldage in that
Yeah.
red zone and a key point in the game, we
Yeah.
need.
So
Telling you,
I think the Chiefs are prepared no matter what anybody says. I think they are prepared at every area they need to be prepared for as far as defense, offense, and special teams. I think they have it covered. I am not worried about the Chiefs. I
I'm gonna be
expect
honest.
I expect it to be close. I do.
Dad, I'm gonna be honest with you because people keep talking about their offensive line too. Their tackles, great. I think their tackles are very good. The inside, not very much,
Well,
especially with Jurgens and Dickerson banged up a little bit.
yeah.
So, like,
They are some
I'm
big
just
boys. They are some big
they are.
boys.
But bro, look, hey, I watched. Look, like I said, I rewatched that game. Washington was getting through there up the middle.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts been sacked 11 times in the playoffs.
No, I did not know it was 11 times.
11 times. So like
Wow.
their offensive line, yeah, they're good on the outside, but in the inside, they can be had. And I do think, listen, people keep talking about that the Eagles defense. Listen, I'm gonna tell you all this right now. Charles Omenihu, Chris Jones, uh, Wharton,
Yeah.
what's his name? Pennell.
Yeah.
And Pennell always comes through.
Mike
And
Dana,
Mike Dana. Bro, these
Karloftis.
dudes is not Carlatis. These dudes is not chopped liver. Like they gonna have a run for their money, bro.
Yeah.
Especially, and I really think like Charles Dominic is gonna be flying under the radar because
Oh,
he been one.
I do believe that. I do believe that too.
You know what I'm saying? So like
Here's
y'all,
my here's my
y'all keep on
question.
that line. I would sleep on that Chiefs defensive line at
Here's
all.
here's my question to you then, Mike. If we were to take the key things that matter in this game, I've heard a lot of people talk about how Philly has a better offensive line. Philly has a better defensive line. Philly has better wideouts. Philly has the better running back. If you look at what everybody else is saying, as far as that goes, Philly checks all the boxes. The only one they don't check is QB, head coach, defensive coordinator. And to me, those three things I think are probably the most important things. What do you think?
I mean, I agree, but like I guess it's like there's context in it because like I do think Philly has the better outside receivers as far as like top heavy,
Yeah,
but collectively I don't think they do.
yeah, okay. I can see
Collectively,
that.
they don't have a better receiving core than the Chiefs do right now.
I can
The
see that.
Chiefs, the Chiefs are literally legit five deep,
True,
five
true.
guys they can go to on any
Yeah,
given basis. You got Juju, D Hop,
yeah.
Worthy, Hollywood, and then I'm missing somebody.
Watson,
Watson. You know, like you got five dudes you could legit go to
yeah.
that can
And
give
that
you a big play, like
and
at any
that's
moment.
and that's not including the fact that we have these two tight ends who are going to do work
That's
for you.
that too. Yeah, like yeah, and
I
then
think
Hendershot too. Like
yeah,
he's there too. Like then you got three solid running backs at the
yeah,
minimum. Now
yeah.
they're not Saquon Barkley.
No,
But
we
that's why I
know
said
that.
they're very top heavy. It's like as far as like their key positions, very top
Yeah.
heavy. The Chiefs, I think, in certain positions are more deep collectively, if that makes sense. So like, you know, but yeah, I do agree that like Obviously we have the better coaching overall, and then I mean, some people argue quarterback.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
know,
saying? But
and I've said quarterback a million times that quarterback is the most important position on the field during times like this, and I think that if you were going to ask me who's the better quarterback, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes, right? So,
wait, I got a question. I got a question though. Who do you think because people say it's not even close defensively either. Now I get it; they have the number one ranked defense, but is it really
see,
that far off? Is it really that far off?
here's the deal.
I'll, I'll, gi-
I
I'll
don't
give
think
him
it's
this
that
though.
far off. I don't think it's
Listen,
that
I'll
far
give
off.
him this though. Look, I'll give him this though. As far as their corners, they're. See, I don't know. Okay, look, I'll give him this. I think their DB room is probably slightly deeper, but that's because they got both Quinion and DeJean plus
Slay, they
Darius
got
Slay,
yeah,
and then they got Gardner. Or don't they got the
C.J. Gard,
safety? Was it?
yeah, C.J.
Yeah.
Gardner,
But
yeah.
then it's like, wait a minute. But then it's like, wait a minute. So the Chiefs got because I really think people underrate Watson.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if anything, Watson is on par with like a Cooper DeJean. I don't care what nobody say. Watson is good. Like
Watson's
people
very
don't be
good.
really talking about him. He's very good. He's at least on par with him.
Yeah,
So you
Watson's
got
very
him,
good.
McDuffie. You got him, McDuffie, and then you got Justin Reed,
Yeah,
and then Cook. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Hicks is better than Cook. Like
I
I
like
think Jaden
Hicks.
Hicks.
I
Yeah,
like
Jaden
Jaden
Hicks.
Hicks.
Cook. Hey, listen. I'm gonna say this right now. Not even just him, but what's the other dude name? I don't know why it's not coming to me. The
What
DB
the?
we got. Oh, what is his name? I don't know why I
Are
can't
you
think of
talking
his
about
name right now.
Joshua Williams?
Not him.
Najee
Connor. I
Johnson.
don't know why I can't think. Connor. Uh,
Oh,
Shamari Connor. I don't
okay,
know why I
Shamari
can't think of
Connor.
his
Yeah,
name.
that's the other safety.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, you two. I need you two Negroes to be locked in today for that game, the Super Bowl. Y'all better be locked and loaded.
uh,
I'm not playing. Y'all gave up. Now look, y'all was breaking. Y'all was doing some BS that last game. I don't know what y'all was doing,
well,
but I need y'all to be better because Kincaid could have easily caught that broken coverage with
true.
that Josh Allen throw.
I don't know if I'd say it would have
Was
been
Cook?
easily. Yeah, I don't know if
No,
I'd
but
say it
I'm
was
saying
easily caught, but
no, no. I'm not saying okay. I'm not really saying that, but I'm like, why was he that open? Cook was just what was Cook doing?
yeah, he. I hate to say
Yeah,
this, but Cook
what,
sometimes it's like I don't know if it's like
bro.
too much going on and he's trying to keep track of everything. I can't tell. I can't tell with him sometimes.
But you,
I'm
I would
hoping
rather
that
have picks in them situations, bro.
yeah,
Like at
I'm
this
hoping
point,
yeah,
like
I'm hoping he's
seriously,
better. I'm hoping he's better in this game.
please. And if you're not, and if you are in them situations, please just be better, bro. Like we need y'all to be better. Like seriously,
Well,
because y'all be getting cooked. So
one of the
just
things that's interested me, and we're still going to give our picks as far as I'm going to give a score. I don't know about Mike, but I'm going to give a score. This is just my thoughts. So, but one of the things that interests me is the amount of things that have happened on Radio Row since the Chiefs have been down there in New Orleans, and some of the comments or questions that have been asked by the media that's down there. I don't know how these people got there. One guy's just. But anyway, some of the things that have been asked are they're fine, but then some of the things are you know it's like they're looking to make a name for themselves and they want to ask the most pettiest shit or the most non-journalistic type things you can possibly ask. And Mike, you were talking about this before we came on. I heard some of the things and I thought it was pretty asinine that we have to sit here and watch a guy ask these questions. Really, you have an opportunity an opportunity I would kill for, to be honest with you. Uh, but and don't take that literally. I don't mean literally. I'm just saying an opportunity I would like to have. What I'm saying is I could have came up with way better questions than that, and I think that was
It was
done.
corny.
It was done in a way to try to make a Chief player look bad. You know what I'm saying? You know the
No,
questions.
they act like Mahomes the one throwing the flag.
I know.
Like
What was the question, Mike? The one guy said something along the lines.
I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, "You guys seem to be." What did he? I think he said you seem to be getting a lot of help. I think he was trying to like make it seem like he was referring to his teammates.
Yeah,
It was like you seem to be getting a lot of help from a lot of people like on your team or something like that. And then he said, so, um, which he said, which one? What do you say? Which one is your favorite ref or something like
yeah.
that?
Which ref is your favorite?
Yeah,
And
which
I
ref is your favorite or something like that?
yeah, along that line. And
I'm
you
just
know, Mahomes. I got to commend Mahomes.
it caught Mahomes off guard a little bit, like at
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
and he had to kind of like come up with something off the top of his head. But yeah,
yeah.
like I mean, he probably ain't expecting nobody to ask him no crazy dumb shit like that. Like,
Well, you know,
um,
I'm sure that they knew it was a possibility that it could possibly come up. Somebody would ask something like that, but I don't think they were thinking it was really going to happen, right? I mean, they did it to Travis Kelsey too, right? And I keep
yeah, I
thinking,
seen that one.
I just keep thinking to myself,
Oh,
you
Kelsey
know,
was pissed though.
yeah, he
But
was,
this is why, and Dad, this is why, and I'm gonna be honest with you, just real quick. They keep doing this shit, poking the bear, doing this.
yeah,
It's all fun and games now. Keep that
yeah,
up
and you know
right
that's why.
now. That it's in their brain. They thinking about this
Oh
shit. They
yeah,
probably like, oh, they thinking we can only win because of the refs.
yeah,
That's what we on now. Like,
yeah.
oh, okay,
You're disrespecting the whole thing that we've worked for. We've worked for these Super
yeah,
Bowls. You
exactly,
know, you're disrespecting it and taking it as if, you know, we didn't do this. Somebody else did it. And you know,
exactly.
along those lines, so Chris Sims, former NFL player, he was asked a question about this, right? And I like the answer that Chris Sims gave to this. I liked it so much, I wanted everybody else to hear it. Take a listen.
Yeah, it's one of the dumbest fucking things in American sports right now, right? The Chiefs are like the NFL. We all agree can't figure out what a holding call is, but now there's a fix, and nobody's telling anybody that the whole league is orchestrating just the Chiefs to win. We can't figure out pass interference, but we're going to figure out how to tell everybody to quietly and stage the whole year for the Chiefs. Okay, so that's the first
No, that's a
dumb thing in
great
American
point.
sports. The second dumb thing is, like all the penalties. First off, the fact that the sixth play of the game with a roughing the passer call on Patrick Mahomes, and we're like, that dictated the game against the clutchest team in the fourth quarter I've ever seen in my life, but the sixth play of the game determined it. Like, get out of here. Also, the winning team doesn't go back and watch stuff and put on social media, oh, they missed this call. Oh, they won. They've moved on. The losers go back and go, well, how did I get screwed? Let me make an excuse. And that's what happened. We saw this with the Patriots. It was the same type of thing, right?
Exactly.
Oh, they get every call. I saw it in the 90s with Michael Jordan. No, I mean, yes, there's some human emotion that goes into it. Everybody wants to be liked by the best team and the best player. But to think the fix is in and all that, I could go back in Houston game or the Buffalo game and find plenty of penalties. But the Chiefs fans are on to the Eagles, and those teams are stuck and mad at the Chiefs. So they're going to go look for those penalties. And the Chiefs fans are like, no, we beat you. We don't want to waste our time. We're on to the
Exactly.
Eagles. And I think that's why I'd say shut up, everybody.
I think that was perfect. I think
Oh,
that
that's
was
facts.
It's perfect. Chris Sims, and I heard this today and I said, you know what? I've got to put this in because he says everything that a rational minded person would say because he understands. Number one, there's 31 other teams in the NFL and 31 other owners.
Yeah,
Those
I don't think
owners, they're not wanting to do
that
this. They don't want to give up
they
that
don't.
money that comes
But
with being a Super Bowl.
what people don't understand is that the league is ran by the owners.
No,
It's
you
not
can't.
like
You can't tell these idiots this. Let me, Mike.
that.
Listen,
But
you can't tell them
people
that
are
because
dumb.
they truly
It's
believe
not
that Roger
ran.
Goodell runs the league. He works
No,
for the owners. The owners put him in charge to run certain things. They own the league. He don't
that's
own
why.
shit.
I literally tell people this is why like they voted to make that playoff change in overtime. It's not go. It's not Roger. He's not the one making the changes. It's the owners. The
Exactly.
owners vote. The owners vote to make the change. They come together and they make that vote.
You know,
People are dumb. Like so, basically, people are saying is that all the other teams they came to the Chiefs and was like, look, from 2019 to 2025, the Chiefs, we're going to make the Chiefs the most dominant team in the league, and we're going to have it to where the refs are in their favor from now on.
yeah. And why would they do that? Why? That's what I want to know.
They're
Why would
losing money. You lose you
exactly?
Dad, do you people don't realize when teams win Super Bowls, it's not that they just win. Do you know how much money they make
Yeah,
from winning a Super Bowl?
exactly. And I don't understand how
Bro,
people who have supposedly thought these things out absolutely missed this one glaring
crazy.
fucking topic. It makes no sense to me. So I can just say this. Chris Sims, thank you. You said something that I've been saying for quite some time. I don't have the platform you have, uh, as far as as big anyway, and I don't have the fan base or the people to watch my show as much as you do. But I will say I have been saying this, and it's great to know that people who have a brain actually sit down and understand that's not how money works.
Um,
Yes, you can think that the fix is in and that Vegas is gonna make all this money and all this other shit. I get it. I get it.
Man,
But
Dad, if this was the case,
there was 31 other owners involved in this situation, and they're not gonna fuck themselves out of the
Dad,
money just for
if
one
this was
team
the
to get it.
case, the Dallas Cowboys, just think about it. The Kansas City is not a big market. There's
It's
less money to
not
be made in Kansas City. Teams that are in like New York, Los Angeles, even Texas to a certain degree, like those would be
Yep.
the teams that be running the league. And you know what's funny? I never thought about this. You know, this might be a little random, but like the Cowboys, when they brought the salary cap into the league, right?
Yeah.
They were only winning before the salary cap because they were
Exactly.
outspending everybody. They've been
Exactly.
dog shit ever since then.
Yep. Exactly why
But
Jerry Jones.
they did that to bring more it'd be more fair because if one owner is just way more richer than everybody and he can just pay everybody, then that wouldn't
Yeah.
be fair.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's why
that's
the salary
exactly
cap exists.
that's why the salary cap exists. It came into effect after the fact that the Cowboys were winning and the
Yeah, they was
owners
just
all
paying
voted
everybody
on it.
more. That's all it was. They
Jerry Jones, I can guarantee you right now, he may say on camera that he voted for the salary cap. I'm gonna tell
Nah,
you
he
right now.
didn't.
I'm
He was
gonna
the
tell
one
you,
that didn't.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this motherfucker, he
He
didn't
was
want that
pissed.
shit. He was like, these motherfuckers.
Yeah. Like I think baseball is the only one that doesn't have a salary cap because I think
Baseball,
like
yeah, they don't have a
yeah, they
salary
don't have a
cap.
salary cap. Yeah, that's
No.
why them same teams be getting all the best players all the goddamn time. Like,
Well, here's what's funny when you look at everything that has happened since the Chiefs actually started winning, right? And I will say this, it's not just luck. A little bit of luck is
there's
involved
always
in
gonna be
there.
some luck involved.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
But this is a team that went out and did its due diligence and got a great coach Clark Hunt was committed to winning. And when the Eagles let Andy Reid go, Clark Hunt said, "We need to do something, and I need a great coach."
I got a question.
Number one, that was the best thing he could have did.
I
That was the
agree.
best
I
hire
definitely
they've
agree.
ever made.
Hey, was John Dorsey was he there before Reed or after?
I want to say he got there about the same time because I'm trying to think
Really?
of I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He was the It was the year they went. Well, God, they were horrible.
Because
They
I know
went for
he was there when they got Kelsey and Jones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Uh,
the GM in Kansas City, I'm trying to think of his name. He was there for years, man. Years. He was there with
I
Mark
think
Davis.
Reed. I think Reed was.
I'm trying to think of his name. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, he was there. He got there the same. He got there a year after Reed got there. If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yeah. So uh,
I mean, like,
there was a GM there. God, why can't I think of his name? Always wore the slick back hairdo. Uh, oh, before John Dorsey. That's what I'm trying to think of.
oh, they got there the same year, so
Yeah,
they
that's what I
came
said.
in.
I was thinking
Yeah, they
that
came in.
yeah, I want to say he got there. Uh, yeah,
I was
so
just saying that. I was just wanting to bring that up because shout out to John Dorsey as well. He's also a part of this.
yeah, so
Like
Scott Pioli was
he was
there.
huge.
Scott Pioli was there from 2009 to 2012, right? So he was there from 2009 to 2012. He was part of the Patriots organization, and he came over to the Chiefs, right? Uh, Dorsey was there after that, uh, and I want to say, I'm trying to think of the guy I'm thinking of. Uh, I want to. God, why can't I think of his name?
Who you thinking about?
He had slick back hair, and I can't think of.
What a GM?
Yes, he was a GM there. He was there for years. Carl
You talking
Peterson.
about?
No, Carl Peterson. Peterson was
Sounds like
there.
way before though.
That's what I'm saying. He was there for a long time.
Oh,
He
okay.
was the general manager of the Kansas City Chiefs there before Scott Pioli was hired in 2009. So he was there up until 2009. He left at 2009. Uh, Pioli was the son-in-law to Bill Belichick, or Bill Parcells, excuse me.
Yeah,
And
because
he,
they also had that what's that big dude's name that used to be the defensive coordinator for the Patriots? He was the head coach at one point, or I think.
oh God, yeah, because he wound up
What is his
coaching.
name? You know who I'm talking about. He
Yeah,
was a hell of a defensive coordinator though.
he
Like
wound up
he was the
coaching
one
it.
that was there.
He wound
Yeah,
up
because
coaching
he
at
was he
KU
was
for
there
a little
when the
bit.
Patriots won all them championships.
Uh,
I
yeah,
can't think of his name right now.
he wound up coaching at KU for a while too. Uh, but Carl Peterson was there for a long time. Uh, and during that time, they had teams that competed, but they just never could get over the hump, and then always bullshit and
Yeah, like I brought Dort because I think them two kind of like Clark hiring Reed and Dorsey is what kind of spearheaded everything.
yeah,
Because man, I'm gonna tell you, John Dorsey. One thing I can say about him, that dude is one hell of a fucking GM. As far as like finding talent,
oh yeah,
it's not even just Kansas City; it's everywhere. He's
yeah,
the one that told he's the one that told the Lions about getting Jameer Gibbs.
yeah.
All them other players that done drafted these past couple years, like dude knows how to find players, dog. Like, and I'm talking about big time players.
He knows
So
talent. He knows talent.
shout out to John Dorsey because we wouldn't have had Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and Chris Jones without that dude. So,
Yeah,
and
and and
even to a certain extent,
Patrick
Mahomes as
Mahomes,
well.
Brett
I
Veach
think him and
discovered
Beach, yeah, I
Brett
think
Veach
him and
discovered
Beach
him.
get 50. I think they get half and half on that for
Yeah,
sure.
because Brett Veach was
So,
working up underneath John Dorsey at that
yeah,
time. So, and I
yeah,
want to
shout out to
say,
John Dorsey, man.
that Brett Veach discovered him. He's the one that brought it to Reed's attention
Right.
and to uh,
To
Dorsey.
Hunt
So,
as well.
yeah. So
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, they've had some great things happen. getting a good GM in there, wind up getting ownership to actually buy in on getting a great coach, proven coach,
It builds
and
the culture there. That's what happened
and then Reed
from the top up.
Reed comes in, does his thing, gets the right, coordinators there, the right coaches. They draft the right players. They make the right moves in free agency. All these things come into play, and like I said, a little bit of luck that
Dad, I'm gonna
happens.
be honest with you. There's another team. Now look, we gotta see we gotta wait to see what happens, right?
Okay.
But as far as building from because it all starts from the top, right? So as far as building a coaching staff, what the Bears are doing right now, dog.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think they did the right thing by getting
shout out to the
this young.
Bears, man.
I did the thing. They did the right thing by getting, uh,
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, the coordinator from the Lions. That was number
Bro,
one.
they just signed the enemy too.
Yeah, they went and did the right thing by getting Bieniemy as a running backs
And
coach.
then you know what caught me off guard is when they got Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, that kind of got me. I was like, what?
It was like, wait a minute, he was available
Yeah,
here instead, dog. Like
yeah. So
that.
I
Hey, they
I
got a
think
nice look. They got a
I
nice little
I
something
think they're
going
doing the
on over
right
there.
things. I think they're doing the right things,
Yeah,
and I can say this by the Detroit Lions. I don't know what's going to happen with them because they did lose both their
they
coordinators.
lost a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron Glenn goes to the Jets, and you lose.
They lost.
Uh, what's his name? You just said his name.
Oh, Ben
Peterson,
Johnson.
Ben Johnson. I was thinking about Carl
Yeah.
Peterson again, but you lose Ben
Wait,
Johnson.
Johnson. That's not the defensive coordinator, right?
He's
Or
the
is it?
offensive coordinator. He's their
Well, they
offensive
lost the
coordinator.
defensive coordinator too to.
That's Aaron Glenn.
Oh,
Aaron
okay.
Glenn
So that's what I was
Aaron
thinking.
Glenn left and wound up going to the Jets. So
Yeah, that's gonna
now
be.
they got to try to establish another offensive coordinator,
They got to get
and
continuity.
yeah, they can get that continuity back. So Detroit's going to be hurting. But I'm not here to talk about Detroit, none of that. But I'm just going to say this: I have a prediction for this game, and this is how I'm looking at it as far as points go. And I'm not saying that I'm right. Don't go betting on DraftKings or anything else. Talking about I told, no, I ain't told you shit. My prediction for this game, I'm predicting the Chiefs wind up winning this game 29-24 and become the first ever three-peat champion in the modern Super Bowl era. That is my prediction. 29-24.
I listen. I think Mahomes has a master class. I'm gonna go 34. No, 35. I'm gonna go 35. Like I'm gonna go like 35, 20, 24. That's what I'm
Thirty-five
gonna go with.
twenty-four. So you're actually taking a lot bigger number on the spread. You're saying it's going to be
Yeah,
a
because
bigger.
I think this is when like when Reed releases Mahomes, man.
You might be right. I mean,
Like
we don't.
seriously, this is the last game of the season. Like obviously Reed didn't have plays he didn't kept in the chamber. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
definitely.
so and like I think we see more bro, I just have a feeling that we're gonna see some deep shots this game.
I think you might be right.
Seriously,
I
especially
think
the worthy.
yeah. We'll see what happens. And man, I can't wait. I am so eager for this game. I'm so eager, and I hope everybody, whoever watches this, I want you guys to all be safe during the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl. Have fun, be responsible, and come back. Let's come back next week.
We winning the
Hope,
Super Bowl, y'all. I hope y'all
hopefully,
know that.
hopefully waving three-peat championship, flags and towels and wearing three-peat championship hats. And even if you're a fan of a different team, we want to see you guys back here on the channel. We
I'm
really
not
do.
gonna be here after we win. What? Look, I would love for y'all to be here after we win, but let's be real. I wouldn't be back.
Yeah,
Like,
y'all ain't gonna
you
y'all ain't gonna be fucking with us
know,
for a
like
while. Y'all ain't gonna be
they
fucking with
gonna
us.
hate us. But like,
Yeah.
no, come through though. If you got the guts to do it and you still feeling good, I mean, if you ain't
Yeah.
crying after the game, that's cool.
So that is it for us tonight. He said they ain't gonna be fucking with us after we win. I
Now, if
can't.
we lose, they gonna all be in
Oh
this
yeah, they're
motherfucker.
gonna they
Yeah.
gonna be on our head. They gonna come here. We might get the most views we ever got
Listen, I'm telling you,
because people be
we
coming
might
on
at
just to
that. We
say
might need to
shit.
think about going live after the game for real. Just
Whew.
depending on how it go.
It depends on
We'll
where I'm
see.
at because I'm trying to figure
Yeah,
out if
we'll
I'm
see.
going to
We'll
even be
see.
at home for the Super Bowl or if I'm going to friends and family's house. We'll see. But we want to thank everybody. First of all, for coming to the channel. Second of all, for viewing the content. And third of all, just being here and hearing what we have to say. We we didn't know how things were going to go, but like I said, this is our 1 year anniversary officially by the time you guys see this. And the journey has been interesting. It has been very interesting. So here's to more content being made, more videos being edited, more subscribers, more likes, and maybe even making a couple of friends along the way. So thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully by the time you see our next content and you see us again, we're repeating as champions for the third time in a row.
Yeah,
Y'all
my
take
home
it
got
easy.
that quarterback, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all take it easy. We hope to see y'all again. This is The Cave. I'm Big Temp. That's Big Mike. We out.